Yes, the Nantz Award, the most prestigious honor given to any collegiate sports broadcaster. I'm Drake Toll, and allow me to welcome you into a reel like you've never seen before. Mostly because you've probably never seen mine before. But I'm a Baylor sports broadcast major specializing in sports writing, podcasting, play-by-play, and I can memorize an open. But don't take my word for it. Actually do. Take a look.
Jackson Bays, the QB from the gun, 4 wide, Dement to his left. Cougar fans getting loud, the sun peeking through here at AT&T.
So obviously no Braden on this play at least. That'll be interesting.
They still want to throw it. Bays pass is complete to the 34, still on his feet, and finally slung down at the 34, 3 yards short, 4 yards short of the line to gain. Making his first reception of the game is Houston Hendricks.
Yeah, and a terrific block on the back end. The backup running back is the one who makes it because there was another guy coming in on the blind side of the quarterback, Bays.
Braden Bays on 3rd and 3 is still not on the field. Cougar fans getting loud. Jackson Bays takes a snap, wants to throw, under pressure, can't find anybody, has to launch it out of bounds. Tyler Beatty fired up on the sideline, trying to spring with a defensive stop. The Cougars, down by 7, will get the ball back.
Win, lose, or draw, this team does not quit, and shame on you if you thought they would. Woo! We're in for a beauty of a final here.
We were talking in
final, 15 minutes. Win, lose, or draw.
At 21-0, we were talking about how Bernie was on the cusp of just breaking the back.
Yes, absolutely.
It looked bad for a while. And the stats still look bad, but the Cougars are here. Punt is barely away. The Cougars run into the punter. No flags dropped, though.
I don't.
That ball
I didn't get a great
didn't
look at
bounce
it, but I
out
think
of
it's probably
bounds.
a good
It's a good punt. It's going to be dropped at the 25. I did get a good look at it, and it looked.
There's no foul for roughing the kicker. The kicker fell down.
The Cougars have needed a break, and that was a slim one, but one nonetheless.
Let's see.
Watch it, and Graydon Grimes.
Yeah. So there. I mean.
That in college,
there's a lot
in the
of
NFL,
acting
it's the.
But there is contact.
Running into the kicker,
yeah,
it wouldn't
it's the
be.
5.
And Shea Hendricks is fired up. That guy's about as red as we are now as the sun peeks through the booth.
Golden hour.
The punt landed near the sideline, bounced back into the field of play, and China Spring starts at the 25-yard line.
Their best punt of the day, by the way.
75 yards.
Good time to get it.
To Pater. McCullum from the gun. To throw it. McCullum pass complete to the 30, to the 34, and down at the 34 is Cameron Campos.
Yeah, they're exposing that soft zone. Bernie content with keeping things in front of them. They don't want to get beat on the line of scrimmage on the outside. Obviously on the inside, that's not too much of an issue for them.
Campos came into today's game, 19 receptions, 249 yards. Today he's got 4 receptions, 42 yards. It's just, this kid had 4 catches in the whole playoffs.
Hey, this is where the legends are made. This game.
Since week 7, he's had 4 catches. He's got 4 today. Little T formation, handoff up the gut, went through! Oh my! The 40! It's X-line, the 20! The 10, 5! Walk it in! 66 yards and see you later! Woo, boy! I'm feeling good. I am feeling good.
Good golly, Miss Molly.
The student section's taking their shirts off.
That side of the stadium is up for grabs. Did I say you weren't going to see a long run from China Spring today?
PAT, up and good. We're tied.
Don't go anywhere.
21 straight for the defending champions. And we're tied on the Bill Wright Construction broadcast of China Spring Cougar Athletics. So that opens the conversation. You will hear it in the coming weeks. If the Big 12 is so good at college basketball, why do they only get 0 teams into the Final Four? Here's the deal, guys. I don't think that somebody tweeted this out, and I wish I could remember it. Fontenelli, maybe? had tweeted out and said, maybe we could just throw out conferences for once when it comes to March, because so many crazy things happened this month. This tournament has more parity than any tournament that exists in the entire world. To me, it's better than the World Cup. It's better than the World Baseball Classic. It's better than the Super Bowl, because so many things happen that don't make a whole lot of sense, and it's great. I love the anarchy of this tournament, and I think that's exactly right. You can't really rate a conference's success based off of their play in March Madness. On the flip side of that coin, that means that you as a Big 12 fan cannot go, look at you, SEC, you don't have anybody in the Final Four. Or look at you, Big 10, you don't have anybody in the Final Four. I still think these conferences, no. I know without a shadow of a doubt that the SEC and the Big 10 are better than the Mountain West Conference in basketball. They're better than Conference USA. Is that Florida Atlantic's in Conference USA? I honestly don't know. I'm not 100% sure what conference Florida Atlantic is in without checking. That is my job. I get paid to do sports, and I'm sorry that I don't know that. But I hope that just goes to show that maybe the conferences don't really matter. This is, and I don't want to make the conversation heavy because he's such a staple in college football, but obviously with Mike Leach and the commitment that you gave to him to play for that program and his unexpected passing, how have you individually grown through that? I mean, the impact that has on anybody's got to be crazy.
Right. No, it's definitely been tough. Definitely been, almost like it hasn't set in at times. It was just weird, man. A really, really hard situation. Growing up in Lubbock, my, I don't want to say connection because he didn't know me, but my knowledge of Coach Leach goes way back. My earliest memories are of him at Texas Tech, Graham Harrell, Michael Crabtree, all those guys. And I've just kept up with him throughout the entire process. And then, I was very fortunate to be able to be recruited by him and play for him, because that was kind of a dream come true for me.
Now, with that too, I think this is probably, I would assume that you would answer this question differently 2 months ago than you would now. What did you learn? What do you take away from your time at Mississippi State that you bring to Baylor that makes you a better quarterback and a better person?
I'd say two things, and I'm glad you asked that. Both of them probably things that I learned from Coach Leach. One is, no matter the situation, be yourself and don't care what other people think of you. And, that's something that he was probably the expert. He was probably, when you hear that, you probably think of Coach Leach, because he was unapologetically himself. He didn't care what you thought of him. He didn't care what anybody else thought of him. And, that's easier said than done. But once you apply it, I feel like it really pays off, because especially at the quarterback position, there are going to be a lot of times when you get more praise than probably you deserve, and also you get more blame than probably what you deserve. And so I just feel like just blocking out the noise and not caring what other people say about you is huge. And then another thing, this was actually the last thing he texted me the night that kind of everything happened, which is super sad. But he said, he was talking about the offense and the practice that we had that day. And he said, don't overthink anything, just react. You're at your best when you react. And so, man, I've kind of taken that and ran with it, not just on the football field, but I'm going to apply it to my life. I'm not going to overthink, not going to overanalyze anything. I'm just going to react to every situation presented to me and control what I can control.
It's a formidable opponent for the Harbor Hawks tonight, and a Bourne team that again bested this Hyannis squad by a run last night in Buzzards Bay. That was a point of conversation today with head coach Eric Beatty, who showed a lot of personality in today's Dugout Show, and someone who's been a treat to work with all season long. We'll take you to Beatty's Dugout Show now.
Drake Toll alongside Coach Eric Beatty for the pregame Dugout Show. Coach, put your hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air. Coach, second question. The name of the game is Survive and Advance. How does your team survive? How does your team advance?
Well, we've got to win to survive. We got to win to advance, and there is a process to getting there. We're doing that right now. The guys are loose, a lot of smiles. BP was awesome today. Saw some good energy, some confident energy. So I feel like we're halfway there. Now we got to play a good baseball game.
Backs against the wall right here. We've seen teams across the East and the West where they get that first smell of getting to go home, see their families, and be done with the summer. How do you keep your guys out of that mentality, still checked into the game? Is that organic or something you've had to manufacture?
Yeah, I think, honestly, the absolute worst case scenario here is we lose and everybody gets to go home and see their family. So there's not a lot of pressure here. Like, we all want to win this game. I know that. I feel that. They're going to come out and do two things tonight. They're going to play really, really hard, and they're going to have a good time. And at the end of the day, you know, pressure is limiting, and it gets in the way of production. And I don't think there's a lot of pressure in this game. I think the guys are in a really good place.
After last night's loss, just a one-run loss, did it feel like the team was dejected, got really down, or, I mean, is this group ready to go?
Yeah, they're competitive. We're competitive. We wanted to win, and it definitely hurt to lose a one-run game. We had some opportunities. We made some big pitches, some big plays to limit run production on their end, so we did some things really well. Yeah, there was a little bit of dejection, but you know, you got to have a short memory and come out here and play the next day and play good.
Yeah, Tommy O'Rourke on the bump today. He struggled against Bourne a couple of times this season. How do you get a guy to get a team out of their own head, and is Tommy in a position where he's able to do that today from what you've seen?
Yeah, I think the line score of his last outing against Bourne was way worse than the way Tommy threw the ball. He threw the ball real well. His stuff was great. He had I think he had one bad inning where they put up most of the line score that looked bad against him, but the rest of the time he dealt, and his stuff was really good. I think if he chooses to make the right pitches at the right times tonight, and his stuff is as good as it was last week, Tommy's going to have a good night.
Another big part of that is George Corona behind the dish for the first time in the postseason today. How much confidence do you have in him to start for the first time this postseason?
Yeah, a lot of confidence. George is a really good catcher. He's a really good hitter. And he did have a couple days off, but he still got in the game almost every game. So he had a good day BP today. His spirits are high, so I think he's going to do great back there.
There are going to be some fans here today?
Tons.
Is that good?
Very good, yeah.
Favorite Spanish song?
Is that Trumpet Song a Spanish song? Edwin Diaz's song? Is that a Spanish song?
Yes, that trumpet song is a Spanish song.
Trumpet Song or Gasolina?
Skip, I've got nothing else.
Let's have a great day.
Let's do it. Drake Toll, Coach Eric Beatty, pregame Dugout Show. We'll see you guys back at Buzzards Bay tomorrow.
Thank you for watching and allowing a kid from the little town of Valonia, Arkansas to apply for the most prestigious award in college broadcasting. I hope you enjoyed it, and sick 'em Bears. Pow! 5, 4, 3, 2.